What is going on, guys? We are back. It is now week 3 of the 100K profit challenge. We had another profitable week. I just caught off of a losing trade here, but nonetheless, it was a profitable week this week. So I'm going to now get on the charts and break down every single trade that I took. I'm documenting every single trade live. So let's get into it. All right, so let's start in order. The 2 trades that I took, first, it was Euro NZD. And this was at the beginning of the week. So as you see here, this trade lasted me about 10 hours and 17 minutes. I entered in the morning on Monday, and by Monday night, we had hit our full take profit on this trade. It was a very beautiful trade because I caught very well the bottom of this entire move up. This movement has continued higher and higher and higher to the point where if I would have held all the way until the top, I could have had a 1-to-9 risk to reward ratio, making this win possibly up to $19,000 if I would have held this entire way. But of course, no one knows this. We only see it in hindsight. So I'm not going to get bummed out about this. As a matter of fact, I'm actually pretty happy that it just shows not only were we correct on the direction of the market, but how correct we were. We were so correct that the market continued for an additional 200 points beyond our take profit. Beautiful trade right here. So guys, I'm using my ride the wave trading strategy. We are trading trends. We avoid consolidating markets. We try to hop in at the bottom of the wave in order to get the best possible entry and the best possible risk to reward. And we enter based off of higher time frame structure to maximize our win rate. That is what we stand for in ride the wave. This is what we do. And this is exactly what I followed here. Starting off on the higher time frame, we were very bullish. Notice how back here, back at the end of May, which was last month, we had a strong bearish move. From there, we reversed and we retraced and we mirrored that entire move back to the upside. At that point, the market's basically equivalent, right? Or it's equal. From there, though, notice how we started to form a lot of bottom wicks, essentially rejecting the downside. The daily time frame started to reject at the 1.98 round psychological level. You can see here on the right side of the screen. From there, we eventually get a break of 1.99,500. This is a very good sign if you are a buyer. We were not buying just yet, but we were obviously being alerted that this was a very, very nice market to trade. Notice how the daily EMA looks. This is a very nice daily EMA. And of course, this has started to form recently with all of these bullish candles. We did not see it quite so inclined, but it was still starting to incline to the upside. Now let's get into the 4-hour time frame and let's find our market structure and let's look at a little bit more detail. Here we see the reversal that we had on the daily time frame, but let's zoom into the more recent price action. This is where the magic really happens. You have higher low, another higher low. And by the way, the reason why this is a higher low is because we're comparing it to this major low that the market made all the way down here at the end of last month. From there, then we have this higher low and we have another one. So theoretically, buys could have been taken all along this, but we really waited for that higher time frame to completely shift to the upside before going long. And that is where we entered in right here. Now, why did I enter in here? This is the magic. This is why it really was such a beautiful trade. Because at the precise level at which the market had previously struggled to go above, it finally broke above that level and it came down and tapped right into it. That is a very high probability level, and it's likely that it's going to hold and be the decisive point for where the market's going to continue in its initial direction. So it's safe to say before this pullback even happened, we already knew the direction of the market was going to be bullish. We can clearly see that because we had such a strong reversal from this bearish move, and we had higher lows starting to form, and we had a higher time frame that was starting to break above 199,500 daily support and daily resistance. It was already clear what direction the market was going, but it's very important to know where you should enter. And I think that's the point at which when that pullback occurred at that precise level, I could not let that trade go without me, which is why I actually entered in a bit of an aggressive entry. I didn't wait for a very solid entry confirmation. For example, if I would have waited for this bullish engulfing candle, that could have been a more solid confirmation, and I still would have had a very nice winning trade. But most of the time, you want to try to avoid that and waiting for a huge confirmation, because then you might be too late in the trade, or you might not get as good of a risk to reward as you may want. In this example, it's easy to say, oh, I should have just waited for a confirmation because either way the market went so much higher. But in most instances, what I did here was necessary in order to have a risk to reward that was even reasonable to trade in the first place. It wouldn't have even been reasonable to enter at 2.0. That's very, very key. So it is an aggressive entry. But here's what most people miss. Off of the aggressive entry and decisive level, if the market does not start going into profit, then we can potentially consider to close out of that trade before hitting our full stop loss. But if you do get some type of reaction, which is likely to happen, you have about a 60 to 70% chance of a reaction like this occurring off of a key level like this, then you can start to reduce your risk by moving your stop loss up. You could reduce your stop loss by half, you could reduce your stop loss by 75%, or you can fully reduce it and go stop loss to break even, or even stop loss in profit once the market continues even a bit higher. Those are your options, which is why entering at a key decisive level like this, even if it's a bit of an aggressive entry, can still be pretty safe in the grand scheme of things because of the trade management procedure that we're going to have. And this is obviously part of my ride the wave strategy. This goes into a lot more depth. This is what I teach my students on our one-on-one calls. But this is kind of like just like the basic outline of what you need to know. And then from there, of course, we did get a reaction wick on the 1 hour time frame. We rejected the bottom. That candle also had a rejection to the top, by the way, but it also rejected the bottom. Not a bad sign at all. When I saw that, I did felt pretty confident about the trade, and then we continued with bullish engulfing candles, and that is what really confirmed and really gave me a lot of confidence in this position. Now, the second trade that I just took, yesterday I was looking at Euro JPY, and before this move up even happened, let's say we were up here. I may use the replay mode just so you guys can see what I saw yesterday when I decided to get in a position. Here is what I saw. On the 2 hour chart, we were coming into the EMA, and we were also close to this 184.300 key level, which is a very nice key level on the 4 hour time frame as well. I would like to obviously get in a possible sell off of there with an entry confirmation. Now, what did I do? I decided to place a sell limit there because the price was already very close. At one point, we were within 10 pips of getting an entry at the very top of this wick, which is when I decided to place that sell limit. And then we came down. This was very unfortunate because I thought we had missed the move completely, but that's why I decided, you know what? I'm going to leave the sell limit active. I don't usually do this. That was obviously a big mistake. From there, I went to sleep. I was like, oh, you know what? We're still not in a trade, but maybe while I'm asleep, we come up, we tap into it, and then we start to go down from here because I still think it's a very nice key level. What occurred was that we had a very strong push to the upside during London session with the London session momentum, to the extent of which I would have not entered in that sell if I would have seen how much bullishness there was. But obviously I was sleeping and I didn't get to see that. And what happened was that when I woke up to do my morning analysis, I was already in drawdown, and I did watch this trade go fully into my stop loss. So, it is what it is. Let's go on here on the TradeZella. Just to recap that first trade that I just got done breaking down, we made 4.8K, around 5,000 on this trade. Before fees and commissions, it was $5,000 on that trade. That is a 2.5 risk to reward ratio. I was risking $2,000 on that trade. On this new trade that I took today, I increased the risk, as I have been doing in pretty much every single trade. I have been increasing my risk. We risked $2,200 on the Euro JPY short, and we lost $2,200. This is okay. Now the market is actually coming back down. I believe the market has actually formed a lower high now and is getting ready to go down. This on the higher time frames, it also made sense to go short. It was retesting into a key level on the daily chart. On the daily, the market had respected this level many, many times in the past. So it was not a bad level to get in at. The problem was I would have not entered in if I would have seen the current price action and how strong it was going. So we didn't end up getting an entry confirmation. We did have the retracement. We did have second lower highs. But there's certain factors that just made that trade a lot less probable. For example, the fact that this was a lower high here. So the market was supposed to continue, make an extra leg down here, make a lower low. But it didn't do that. Instead, it went higher. That alone, I should have known that. And before going to sleep, I should have canceled that sell limit. That would have prevented this loss. So just to recap on the trading week, I took 2 trades this week, 1 win for 1 to 2.5 risk to reward, and 1 loss for a 1R, risking between 2,000 and 2,200 on these trades. And we ended off the week, whatever 4.9 minus 2.2 is. So that's around 2.6, 2.5K for the week. Okay, it says it right here. So 2.6K for the week. Last week was a 7K win. Last week was a very good trading week. And the first week, it was almost break even. We had a loss and a win. So far, the performance has been actually very, very good. We have won most trades. We are currently at a 70% win rate. So hopefully we can maintain that for the rest of this challenge. So there you guys have it. That was my trading week. If you guys enjoyed this video, leave a comment below and I will see you in the next one.